What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ryan, and this is the biggest nootropics channel on the web. Check us out on the web, livecortex.com. Product specials now. Cortex Stack, our pre-made nootropic stack. I mean, look, if you want a stack for focus, motivation, mental energy, verbal fluency, buy Cortex. Flash sale right now. Coupon code 7 gets you Cortex for $25 a bottle. If you want a bottle for $24, you can do that. You just have to buy 2, and that is called the Cortex Double Stack, and you can get that at livecortex.com. If you need my help personally, can't tell you how many people we've helped, Fortune 500 executives to everybody else in between, from a guy who just wants to be more productive at work to people with GABAergic or serotonin problems, depression problems. We have a nootropic stack formulation service. It's a Nootropics Consult, tailored stacks for you, working with me to perfect them. $49.99, cheapest it's ever been. Get it at livecortex.com. If you're new to nootropics, 3 products: Smarter, Better, Faster, digital book we wrote for people that are new. You have to read it. The Nootropic Starter Pack, which gets you Smarter, Better, Faster, plus a bottle of our stack Cortex, or the Nootropic Starter Pack Pro, which is a bottle of Cortex, Consult with me, Smarter, Better, Faster, the Racetam God Guide, and a copy of Stack List, all in a package deal. Last thing, if you're a man and you're looking to boost testosterone, you're thinking about going on TRT, you don't have sex drive, libido, you don't wake up motivated, you're not putting muscle on, you have fat you need to shed. Look, that's all testosterone, man. If you boost your testosterone, changes you as a man. We've got a protocol on it. It's called the Viking Testosterone Protocol. Much success with it so far. People are basically just loving it. I mean, folks hit me up and say, like, dude, I'm doing everything. Sex drives to the roof. I want to build a house. I'm more attracted to my wife. I'm more masculine. Putting on muscle. My brain works better. Get the protocol at livecortex.com. Last thing, if you have adrenal fatigue, we can help you. Just launched it. It is called the Adrenal Protocol. That'll change your life because it's debilitating if you have adrenal fatigue. Get that at livecortex.com. All right, so I want to talk about having a book of experiments that you can reference on taking nootropics. So what I have done, look, I treaded water like I think a lot of people do for the first 3 years taking nootropics. I ruled out a bunch of different compounds. At one point, I actually ruled out oxyracetam because I couldn't get it to work for me because I didn't have a methodological approach to it. I would take a gram, 200 milligrams alpha GPC. I'd feel like pretty good for 2 days taking it. I'd take the same stack the third day, it'd be completely different, and I could never get to work in those same doses again. That's because I just didn't understand. I had to dose it differently. I had to cycle it differently. I had to change the choline source. I had to change the dose on the choline source. I had to add a B complex in some cases, and sometimes you'll need to add a B complex for a particular stack that worked for you for 2 days on the third day in order for it to continue to work for you, because B vitamins regulate neurotransmitter function. So there's all these, I don't call them shortcuts, but just like methodological surgical approaches that I figured out to make nootropics work better. So once I stopped treading water and sat back for a second and looked at the 50 powders that I had from back then, Powder City, I was like, you know, what if there is, because I'm a compartmentalizing, I'm a very linear thinker. As those of you that know me personally or watch the videos for a while, I like to think like that because that's the way I think you get things done. So I sat back for, you know, it was a month process where I really sat and thought about it and began the experimentation process. And I was kind of like, you know, what if I could take a stack? I had a book that I wrote the stack in, what the stack was, the doses were. I started a log. 4 p.m. This is how the onset was. This is how the effects were. This is how I was when I was trying to remember information. This is how I was when I was trying to focus. This allowed me to have more mental endurance. And then I notated it. I notated everything. What I was eating around the time, how much I slept that day, like everything. And then I go back to that same stack the next day, see how it affected me, notate it all. By the third day, if it affected me differently, I would notate that. And then I would look at it. What did I do differently? What changed? Or is it that I infused too much of a modification of a particular neurochemical? And should I back off on this? And what do I do to change it? Did I get a side effect on day 3? How do I change that? Are there cofactors that are necessary with certain of these chemicals? What about acetylcholine? What else makes it work? Well, magnesium and calcium seems to make it work better. So do B vitamins. You know, why did I get a headache with this racetam? On and on and on and on and on. And then I started getting into realizing that all the stacks the couple stacks that I'd figured out that worked really well, I couldn't keep taking those stacks. Otherwise, they'd lose their potency or something would happen. So the goal was, how could I switch systems? Instead of working on cholinergic system, could I work on dopamine? Could I work on wakefulness with modafinil? Could I work on general wakefulness and adenosine, like with caffeine and theacrine? You know, how can I develop a bunch of different stacks that I won't ever develop a tolerance to because I'm only taking them once a week? Then I change to a different stack, or I'm taking them twice a week. How do I figure out the right cycling protocol? How do I reset my tolerance to modafinil or something, or any nootropic? And I figured out all these things, you know, sleeping a lot, taking naps during the day, heavy B complex, heavy high intensity workouts, certain macronutrient intake. A few other things that reset tolerance to nootropics, aside from, of course, taking 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks off of the particular nootropic. Then upregulating neurotransmitter receptors. Okay, why am I giving you all this information right now? I just gave you a super glimpse into some of the stuff that we don't really talk about all that often, but it's the basis for Smarter, Better, Faster. It's the basis for the methodology infused into the stacks that we're putting in all of our digital books, which you should go get and buy and read, because you'll save years in nootropic experimentation. I'm telling you all this because if you want to get the best results from nootropics, you need a book of experiments where you record everything, where you can reference everything, and you know how stacks are going to affect you, and you know how to reset tolerance, and you know when to switch from one stack to another. That you know that if you take one stack in the morning and that you lose brain function or need better brain function at 3 p.m., you know which doses of that same stack to take, because it isn't the same as the first dose in the morning. You got to half dose it. That's why I'm telling you this, because there's a lot of folks that give up on certain nootropics or are just confused about the whole process that have not gotten the best results from nootropics, and then they just put it by the wayside. This doesn't work for me, that doesn't work for me. And in some cases, that's actually true, because some people just don't respond to certain nootropics. That'll never change, and that's your liver enzymes, it's a bunch of different things. It's your brain chemistry, whatever. But mostly, people can make those nootropic compounds work for them. People can set up a schedule of 6 or 7 stacks throughout the month to take. People can know exactly what's going to affect them at what time and what to take for what brain performance stuff. And I want folks to be like that. It's going to help you a lot. So what is my suggestion? Take a notebook. Write everything down. Write the stack down in the doses. Write down how you feel. Stack that notebook of experiments. Figure out stacks that work well for you. Consult with me if you need help on figuring out how to reset tolerance, or why something isn't working, or what to add, what cofactors to bring in, what stacks well together. The consulting service is $49.99 right now. It could not be any cheaper, right? You know, it started off at 100 and something, then it was at 80 for a while. It's underpriced, to be honest with you. You guys have to get it and thinking about getting it. But you need to have a book, and you need to have a book of experiments that you can reference. Nootropics and nootropics results that you get from nootropics, and then formulating stacks that are going to work well for you, and you actually getting good results from nootropics. The only way you can reach that outcome is to have a methodological approach, and that is all I am pushing here. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry I just like lectured you for a little bit, but you know, it just, I see it every day and it makes sense. You know, you gotta approach this stuff surgically. We can help you out. So remember, all that stuff is brought to you by Products. Cortex stack, $25, flash sale at the website. Cortex is an everything stack. Coupon code 7, $25. If you need a bottle for 24, totally fine. Gotta buy 2 though. That's the Cortex double stack. You can buy that at livecortex.com. Again, if you need my help personally, the consulting service is $49.99. Just go book it. We'll book the call ASAP. We'll get you fixed up. We'll figure out stacks that work. And again, if you're new to Nootropic, Smarter, Better, Faster, the Nootropic Starter Pack or the Nootropic Starter Pack Pro. If you're a guy and want to boost testosterone, get the Viking Testosterone Protocol. Can't say it enough. I shouldn't even say anything else. You just have to get it. We'll change your life with that. And lastly, if you have adrenal fatigue and it's ruining your life, because it does, get the Adrenal Protocol. And you can get that at livecortex.com. We'll get you better. Okay, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Talk to you next time.